Hey folks, how you all doing? So it's that time of the month when we discuss and I show what Lynn and I purchased over the previous month. It's the beginning of November. We're going to take a look at what we purchased over the month of October 2024. We have 10 vinyl albums to take a look at. We have 2 7-inch singles to take a look at, and we also have 2 compact discs to take a look at. So without further ado, we'll get into it. First up, we have double CD, Billy Strings, Highway Prayers. This is a bluegrass guy from the US, 4th album. I actually thought I was getting this on vinyl because when I purchased it off eBay it said double disc. It was $50. It's usually the price of a vinyl album, but I misread it. Double disc actually meant 2 compact discs, so a bit disappointed when that came in the mail because I was actually hoping for the vinyl, but nevertheless, very good album. 21 or 22 songs on this from memory. So yeah, Billy Strings, Highway Prayers. This album was released in July. Eminem, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace. This was released via streaming stations, streaming networks in July. The physical copies only came out towards the middle of September or the end of September. I happened to see this in a record shop and bought it. I probably wouldn't have purchased it unless I saw it, because I've had enough of Eminem over the last 2 or 3 albums. He's good, a good artist, don't get me wrong, but I'm just getting to that stage now where I want to move on to something else. But I saw it, I got it. It is a good album. It's not a great album by any means, but it's his 12th studio album, and I'm more than pleased to have this now I've purchased it. Next up, we have 2 7-inch singles. If you guys remember me talking in another video about Australian rock band Jet, you may or may not remember them. They had a huge worldwide hit, I don't know, 2008, I guess, something like that, with Are You Gonna Be My Girl. It was off their debut album, Get Born. Well, anyway, they released 3 studio albums. They split up. Lead singer Nick Sester released 2 solo albums. Didn't do too well, didn't even make the charts, to be honest with you. But earlier this year, Jet reformed when the studio made a single called Hurry Hurry. There's an album apparently coming out next year, but I have done a video of these guys with all my stuff. I've got 7-inch box sets, I've got picture discs, I've got coloured discs, I've got just about everything they did on vinyl, even their original limited edition EP they released before they were famous. There was only 1,000 copies of that made for fans at shows. I got one of those, so I'm a big fan of the band. Anyway, they released this one on black vinyl. There was either 1,000 or 2,000 copies made. As you can see there, I have number 730 on black vinyl. This one is a coloured vinyl. There was only 200 of these made, never to be reprinted, blah blah blah, etc. on coloured vinyl. So I got this one as well. I was a big fan of the band. It's on orange. I paid a lot of money for this coloured vinyl. There was only 200 released in the world. When I found it on the internet, it was $60, 60 something dollars, and I automatically assumed it was Australian dollars. I didn't mind spending that to keep my collection complete, but after the transaction went through, I found out and realised that was USD, American dollars. That equated to just over 100 Australian dollars for a 7-inch single. Look, I probably would have got it anyway, but it was just a surprise of $100 for that. I'm glad Lynne wasn't upset with me for buying it. She wasn't happy, but she certainly wasn't overly upset, because she knows what a big fan I am of the band Jet. So I got that as well. Next up, we have an album that's about nearly a decade old now, but Lynne picked this one up on double vinyl. What the World Needs Now, Public Image Limited. This was their 10th studio album. We haven't heard this album. Lynne's only knows one song off this album. It's on black vinyl. The only song she knows is Shoom, which is really, really good. It's so bad, it's brilliant. I know Double Trouble as well, the opening track. I really, really like that one. I like Shoom as well. And I've also heard Betty Page there. Not overly keen on that song, but that might grow on me. But there's enough on this album, I think, to like. There's going to be enough to like. I'm a big fan of Johnny Rotten, Johnny Lydon, and really looking forward, well, we both are really looking forward to sinking our teeth into this one. Next up, we have the 7th studio album by American country singer Justin Moore. This is called This Is My Dirt. Again, it's a gatefold album, gatefold sleeve. There's a few of these coming up this month, gatefolds. It is only a single album though. Friend in Kentucky, called Edwin. It got me to listen to this song, This Is My Dirt, the title track. Absolutely fell in love with it. So I thought, why not get the album? The first song's good enough to like, and he's been around for 7 or 8 albums, so he's going to be pretty good. This one does come on limited edition dirt coloured vinyl. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at that vinyl. Isn't that beautiful? Those browns and cream. Absolutely magnificent. So yeah, well, I'm pleased to have that one anyway. Lynne's not a overly big country fan. She does like some country, but probably not as much as I do. Next up, we picked up this movie soundtrack for The Joker, Phoenix and Gaga. We're both big fans of Lady Gaga. So it's 3 people sing on this album, performed by Phoenix, Gaga and Nick Cave. We would have purchased this album anyway. As you can see, a lot of them are remakes there. For Once in My Life, Bewitched, That's Entertainment, When You're Smiling, The Whole World Smiles With You, To Love Somebody, Gonna Build a Mountain, I've Got the World on a String, That's Life. A lot of these are standards. I'm actually a fan of Lady Gaga's more recent material, the Joanne album, and see, this is on transparent vinyl there. This soundtrack album. Yeah, I'm more a fan of her Tony Bennett type standards albums. Lynne's a bigger fan of her pop stuff than I am, so there should be something on this album for both of us. Also picked up this one, the companion piece to that soundtrack album, Harlequin by Lady Gaga. Harlequin is the character in the Joker movie. That's the Joker's muse, girlfriend, whatever you want to call her. It is, Lady Gaga does play the character, so that's that one. A lot of the tracks there, as you can see. A lot of them are standards on there as well, so you know, That's Life, Gonna Build a Mountain, That's Entertainment, If My Friends Could See Me Now, World on a String. So it's a lot of those standard type songs. I think there is a single on it already, a single off it that is one of her pop type songs. So again, another album that Lynne and I will both enjoy. This is actually the 10th album of her career, I believe, including the Tony Bennett ones and the Star Is Born soundtrack. Again, another gatefold. Next up, Nashville, Tennessee by Ernest. As you can guess, he's a country singer. This is his 3rd album. I actually purchased this one off his website because we couldn't get it anywhere else. If you pre-ordered it, you got it signed by Ernest. There you are, he signed that. It's actually a trifold and triple vinyl. There's some 28 songs on this album. I actually haven't heard this album, but my mate in Kentucky listened to it, and he said you would really like this album, so I just purchased it off his say-so, because I really trust him with what he says about music. Next one, The Sacred Soul's got a story to tell. As a lot of you guys know, I am a big fan of 60s and early to mid 70s R&B soul, with all the black singers. Absolutely brilliant. This song, when I first heard it actually was a random pick of mine for Spotify to listen to. I just liked the album cover. It looked old-fashioned, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. The minute it started, all I could think of was 1972, 73, Marvin Gaye, the whole what's going on type vibe. And yeah, absolutely brilliant. Now, being a big fan of R&B soul from that period, it takes a lot for me to compare anyone or anything to songs of that period. But to actually compare this singer to Marvin Gaye, that's just shows you how good this guy is. So there you go. Also have this one here. This is 13th album by Charlie Crockett. It's called $10 Cowboy. This is just black vinyl, this one. Printed on, what is it, 180 gram black vinyl. Another one recommended to me by my mate in Kentucky, Ed. Charlie Crockett is actually a descendant of frontiersman Davy Crockett. Next up, Casey Chambers, Aussie singer. Pre-purchased this late August. Only got released a couple of weeks ago. Pre-purchased this from her website, Australian Country Singer. If you pre-purchased it, you got it autographed by Casey Chambers. It's on double vinyl. Again, another gatefold sleeve. It's also coloured vinyl. Two totally different colours there. That's like a burgundy maroon colour on that one. And this one is just a transparent red. It's really strange. The last track on here is actually a bonus track. It's not really country, but she does a cover of Eminem's Lose Yourself with just her and a banjo, and it's quite interesting indeed. So there you go, Casey Chambers, Backbone. Two more albums to go. One of my favourite rock bands. I have previously ranked their studio albums on my channel already. Snow Patrol, The Forest is the Path. I love this album cover. I think it's fabulous. Haven't heard this album yet, but I'm a big fan of Snow Patrol. I like just about everything they do. Just about every song is really good, or brilliant at worst. It's a double album on vinyl. 8th studio album. They're an alt rock band. If you've never heard them, go and check out some of their material, or at least go and watch my rankings video. Next up we have Bright Eyes' latest album, 5 Dice, all threes. They're an indie pop / indie folk band from the US. This is their 11th studio album. Gatefold. And yeah, Connor Orbost, brilliant artist, lots of great harmonies with their stuff, and well worth a listen if you get a chance. And this one's on double splatter. So as you can see on there, it's a bit of a laser etching on there. That's a side. It's only a 3-sided album, I think. Yeah, it's only a 3-sided album. But there's like a etching on there. There you are. You can see it. 5 dice, all 3s. Looks like a gambling table because there's $100 notes on it as well. So yeah, that's the record purchases that Lynne and I made over the month. Well, we received in the mail or from the shop in the month of October 2024. Let me know in the comments section below what you think of any of these albums if you're a fan. If I've inspired you to maybe go and check out one of these artists. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe, take care. All for now. Catch you around, and bye folks.